Good morning. What up? Happy Wednesday, y'all. Happy Wednesday. I figure I'd go live and do this setup right here. So, my wife is starting a podcast, right? And she's doing it right from home. Today, she's actually tasked, right? It's a challenge for her today. The challenge for her today is for her to do her first episode. All right, so my wife is literally, she's sleeping right now, but told me the only way she would do this podcast when she comes downstairs, the whole studio should be set up. So this is something I've been prompting her to do for a while, okay? Just, to get a little bit of her creative juices out because the lady is creative. So she's got a podcast now that is kicking off today and it's called Open Hearts with Nita Rain. So we're going to turn the entire living room into the podcast setup. So I got all the equipments and everything. You will literally see step by step on how you can turn your living room into a podcast set. Everything that you're going to need, everything we're going to be using. The crazy part about it, I happen to be her first guest, but then I'm also the producer of the show. So it's going to be interesting how I'm going to set it up today to be able to control the cameras and be a guest on the show as well. So I got everything here. I'm just going to start setting up. And if you got any questions, you can leave it down below. So we're going to be talking about microphones. We're going to be setting up lighting. We're going to be setting up the interface, the computer, the software that we're using, everything, different sets. I'm a little bit like I need her help with like the set design because that's her area. So I'm just going to do my best until she wakes up and I can do the like technical part of things, the electronics and all of those things. But when it comes to the set design, I try to design something over here. I put a little bit of candles there. Like I try to do my part. But she wants to use the couch over here, right? And we already have a good set over here, but she don't want that. She wants to use the couch for more like a relaxed feel. So the couch, which is why we even did this wallpaper type of thing over here. So I got all of the equipments over here. Okay, this is our living room, and I actually just had to take everything out of the studio that I use every day to set this up. So I'm just going to set the camera down. I will be peeking in with y'all just so you can see, and I'm going to talk you through every step of the way on what it is that I'm doing. We're going to literally start with, I'll start with camera. Ideally, I'm going to be using one main camera, which will be the Sony A7 III, and then we'll have a second camera here that can be cut in and out on like a close-up shot. So I'm gonna set up cameras, I'm gonna get all the equipment set up first, microphones, and then we'll do positioning and everything. Set power couple, appreciate that. Trying to get everybody to be on that creative tip. So I'm gonna put this phone down for a little bit, and you get to see some of the stuff that I'm doing here. And I will talk you to maybe try to get a better position for y'all. All right, so over here, I'm going to just start putting things on the stand first. So I got two mic stands here. I'm using, for audio, we'll be using the Shure SM7B. I have a few of these microphones laying around, and because at one point we had a podcast studio that people were able to rent. So there's a lot of equipment that's around here. And for lighting today, I got two ring lights. I also got some ambient lights like RGB lighting that we'll be using. So when it comes to like a setup, don't let it be a big thing, right? All you really need to set up a podcast, you need audio, which should be the microphone. You need lighting, okay? You need cameras, right? Or a camera. Don't overthink it. You can use your cell phone and all of those things there. So the microphones that I have, you don't have to use the same ones. I do have like cheaper microphones, like the Rode Pod mic. we could use those as well. I got a few of them over there. They're like 99 bucks compared to this 399 microphone. But like I said, I already have these that I use. So I'm just gonna have them set up, and then we'll do the positioning and everything. So this would be like a full master class if you needed to set up a podcast. So I'm a man of many tricks, right? Of many different things that I do. So I've been running production now, or media production in the church for nearly 15 years. So when it comes to audio, videos, and lighting, I yeah, I've had my hours of production, live production too on a Sunday morning. If you know how Sunday mornings can go, most of the times I'm the person behind this. And for the longest, it's been single-handedly doing it. But now I've got a team that I can just direct. So we'll be using mic stands. I got some mic stands here that we'll be using. These are just some like cheap, budget-friendly mic stand. Believe I got these from like Guitar Center or something. Appreciate y'all if y'all can smash the like button right here. You're gonna find some value in this. The thing here is podcast is kicking off. It's a lot of everybody. If you got a personal brand, you want to get your message out there, podcast could be a good way to exercise getting your message out there, becoming a better person on camera, a good speaker. All those things there tie into why podcasting is the best way to practice that. All right, so this is my wife's podcast. If you're just joining us, it is going to be officially lunch, not lunch day, but the first episode will be recorded today. And this is what we're doing. The podcast is going to be open. It's called Open Hearts with Nita Rain, which is her name. I guess her stage name, for lack of a better term, right? That's her stage name, Nita Rain. And maybe stage name is not the right thing, but yeah, stage name. She's an artist in her own way, creative. So go ahead, hit the like button for me, y'all. Let me know in the comments where you're watching in from. So I got two microphones set up here, and so we'll be using the couch here. So this is going to be like one person. Somebody's going to be sitting over here somewhere, and the other person will be there, which will be me. Okay, so we got two mics. That's mic number one, and I got mic number two here going up. You gotta get a husband like me that understands this thing to make it easy for you. You know, because this stuff that I'm doing right now would have cost her thousands of dollars for somebody to come in and set it up for her. Every show, break it down, go home. So God is good because we have everything that we need to do this. Okay, so we'll assume that it's going to be just like this for now. Okay, so we got the two microphones there. Again, that's a two-person set. It's going to be my wife and myself, and I'm also going to be producing the show. So I have everything right there. I'm probably going to sit right there to keep the equipment out of the camera, but you'll see everything that's going to be hooked up there. We'll be using for audio interface. We'll be using the Rodecaster Pro. For the video switching, we'll be using the A10 Mini Pro. I'll walk you through all of that. And then you need a computer, right? Everything's going to plug in. That's how we'll be able to see the different cameras. And our multi-view is going to be on the big screen TV up here. So we're able to see ourselves and everything that's going on in the studio. So we got audio. I'm going to move this table a little bit into like the center here. All right. So then for a camera, so I have a setup here. Okay. So this setup right here, this is a C stand. Okay. So C stand, you can see it's just a C stand right here that I built this like it's like an all-in-one set. So I'm able to put my lights here, and I got the camera, everything right here set up as well. This is a A7 III, Sony A7 III, and it is on a Tamron 28 by 70 lens. We will probably change this lens depending on where I put the camera. We'll probably have to go with our Sony 180, but I'll figure that out. For now, I'm just going to set up the lighting or the camera right here. Probably going to put this camera right about here for now until I can connect it, and we will see where it end up going. So for the camera now, I have a device right here that gives it like constant power. So this is like a false battery. So the false battery is inside of the camera. Okay, so it's something called a false battery. This is just a device that plugs into the camera. You can get it for any camera, really. This is for a Sony. And then this plugs into that to give it power, and this will plug into a source, right? So that way the camera is always powered. You don't have to change batteries or anything like that. All right, so we definitely would recommend one of these. And most of these, everything that I'm talking about will be down below in the description. I just wanted to document this process because I did have people reach out, ask me if I had like a course for this. I'm like, I don't have a course, but I can definitely do a video and see how we can follow along. So once we set everything up, I will walk you through the details. But meanwhile, if you got any questions, drop them down. All right, so the battery went in there. Now this will plug into a source. And okay, so camera is there. Camera's hooked up. I'm gonna put that right about here for now. We'll turn on this ring light. All right, so I've got camera now, right? Camera, I got lighting number one. That'll be a key light. Second key light right here will be positioned over here. I'm probably gonna end up taking that down. See what the camera see for now. Okay, not bad, not bad. So far, this is what my camera sees. Let me show you. Just hit the like button for me, y'all. Sorry, I'm a little shaky. I want to show you this. So this is what the camera is seeing so far. I'm probably gonna end up taking that big roses down, and yeah, so that's what we see so far. We're cleaning the back end up, throw some ambient, some color lights there. We'll play with some camera settings. Even though this is blinking no card, I don't need the card because I'm not recording anything on the camera, right? So everything is gonna go through the ATEM, which is over there. We'll set up in a little bit. Okay. So got this, got that. I believe I'm gonna take this down for now. This is camera number two. Okay, camera number two happened to be a Canon. It's good for you to have the same cameras of the same color signs, but right now I don't. So I'm really gonna just really want to run the show with one camera, but if we have to, we'll cut to this Canon for our close-ups. So for that, I'm just gonna put this Canon on a tripod. This Canon does not have one of those false battery. It has an actual battery in here. I wish we have extras if we have to swipe batteries. Because I do have a Canon one, but I ended up selling that camera to buy a lens. Come on. Go in there. You don't want to go in. You were supposed to go in here. Okay. So this would probably be something over here like this. So I have that main camera, and then this camera would be just off the side here to capture like a second shot, or it could even be like right here. It's a little too tall. So I'm gonna leave that just to give her a camera on her own. We'll leave that there. All right, shut that off for now. Okay, so the second light, so we got the key light. We are going to put this light in over here. It's good to have long cables because you never know where you're gonna end up setting up at. All right, so the brain, one of the brains to all of this is going to be the A10 Mini Pro. So the A10 Mini Pro allows you to bring in 4 HDMI sources. So in our case, it would be 2 cameras and a computer. And we're also able to bring in the USB, which is like the USB out for a multi-view so you can see exactly what the cameras see. And then we're able to connect this to our computer to get audio. All right, there's a mic 1. We could use this, right? But I use the USB for audio. There's an Ethernet port back here. If you wanted to connect internet to here just to go live from this board, you could do that as well. It's a whole bunch of buttons here that don't matter. The only button that we're going to be using is the camera buttons and then the cut button. Camera, cut, camera, cut. All right. So I'm going to set this up. I'll set this up for now. the computer that I'm using, just a PC. I'm gonna connect it there. I have a dock. So this dock right here has multiple USB ports, which allow me to bring in the ATEM, allow the computer and the roadcaster all to be plugged into this computer from this one deck. So one of these USB will go into, one USB goes into the roadcaster to get audio into the computer for the software we'll be using. And then the second one will go into the ATEM to connect that to the same software. Maybe I should go this way with the table. All right, it's all good for now. I'm probably gonna have this board next to me anyways. All right, so then we have audio, mic 1, plug into the Rodecaster. So this is the Rodecaster Pro. I'll show you this. This is the Rodecaster Pro. This is where all of the audio is happening at, right? If you look at some of the top podcasts you're watching now, they all have something like this, a similar. This is just its interface. Okay, it allows you to take that audio and transcribe it into something that the software can read. So in the back of this board, I'm able to bring in 4 cameras, not cameras, 4 microphones. I'm also able to connect a cell phone to this to take calls. If somebody wanted to call into the show, we could do that. It takes 4 headphones, and I can plug in a SD card in here just to capture the live recording, power source, and on the front of it, you got these buttons to control your headphones individually. So individually, each person can control what they hear. There's the main audio and all these faders here, mic 1, mic 2, and so on. Big record button when it's time to record. All of these pads here have sound effects. If there was an intro, once we get the intro set up for the show, it will be programmed in here. Once I hit it, that intro music will come on. There's claps. There's all, you can program these pads to almost have any sound. So that's the board we're using. It has Bluetooth as well, so you can play right from the phone, right? If you have music on your phone, you can connect it to this board and Bluetooth it. You can bring in audio right from the computer and then the phone and the 4 microphones. So this is what we're using. This is the Rodecaster Pro. This is the first one. We do have smaller ones now or newer ones, but this first one been working for me for years. There's no need to change it. Mic 1 is in, and mic number 2 is in. So both mics are in right now. We just fire this, put this plugged in, get this plugged in. right, so now let's get the cameras connected there. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. All right, so let's leave that right here. Let's talk about, let's get some lighting. Get some lighting in. Grab my extension cord. Let's grab me another extension cord here. Let's plug it into this one. Once I get all these connected, I'll clean this up a little bit so you're able to walk. Because right now, you know, walking around freely. ATEM is plugged in. Rollcaster is plugged in. Okay. Lighting number one. All right, so now you can probably see a little bit of color. I'm adding a little bit of color here with the RGB lighting. Okay, so I'm bringing this up for y'all to see. So this light right now is just going to add some color to the scene in the background. This is a GVM lighting. This lighting connects to the phone. The app is there. You can change the color to everything and the brightness and all of those things there. It does have a power source you can plug in, or you can put batteries in here as well. This comes two in a set. This is the 800D RGB for red, green, blue. Let's just add a little bit of color to the scene over here. I could probably send it from this way. Sorry. All right. So next, I'm do the second one. It's another one of these lighting. Now you can see this one is blue. Okay. I do have another one here, another lighting here. If I wanted to add like some yellow to the scene, especially in like this, where that candle is, I could remove the blue and add like a more moody yellow type of tone, which is probably what I will do. But yeah, we'll see. I will play with the idea a little bit more. Alright, so next, let's get cameras into here. Camera number 1. I broke that pencil. Okay, so now to plug up the camera, I'm just going to take an HDMI cable, and this HDMI cable is going to go from the camera into the ATEM, from the camera to the ATEM. This will be camera 1. Camera 1. Same thing for camera number 2. Okay, okay. Pretty much there. I just need to get another HDMI cable that would be long enough, or maybe not long enough, but ideally I need to have an extended monitor, not an extended monitor, but a monitor out so I'm able to see what the camera sees. Right now, I don't have a HDMI cable that's long enough to send it to the big TV like I thought I would, because I just used that for camera number one, of which I actually could move this closer, but no. I'm gonna put a monitor right here. I got a smaller monitor we can use. Man, I'm tearing down my whole space. All right, so I got a monitor here that we'll use for the multi-view. Almost there, y'all, almost there. And I'll walk you through everything here in a bit. Multi-view, HDMI cable to connect that to that. Multi-view out, camera out, in. Okay, here we go. I'll show you what the multi-view looks like in a second. I need somewhere to rest it. I could probably rest it. Okay, multi-view is in, camera's in. Let's see what camera 2 looks like. Oh, that was camera 2. Camera number 1, we don't see. Okay, number 1 is in. Okay, here we go. Who's that? So that just sat on something. Ooh, my wife gonna kill me. So let's see if this makes sense. See if this makes sense. So this will have to go this way. And this big old mic stand in my way. It's what I hate about stands. But this one is in my way, so we need to reposition it. There we go. So it's not as bad. Good. Scene number 1. And then she would be saying right there. She'll be saying right there. Everything is here. Everything is in my arm reach. I can literally control the show from right here. I'm able to see. Computer is there. And I'm going to walk you through this in one bit. One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so if she was sitting here, it's just a little low. She'll have to put the mic right there. She'll probably be sitting back like this, just relaxed, which is no problem. Okay, pretty good. I could even sit right here. It'd be good either way. That's her seat. And this will be my seat. And we will just be talking to that camera. And there's a second camera here that needs to get a little brighter. It's not as bright. It's almost like I need to put another light next to that. This key light needs to move there. Or we can just tweak that in the settings a little bit. Bring the iOS up a little bit. All right, I think I'm good. Just gonna make sure I get the software up and we can talk about software. Riverside. Nice. I think we're good. I am ready. All right. I think I'm good. I can bring y'all in and walk you through this. All right. Let's talk about it. If you stayed all the way to the end now, I'm going to walk you through everything that's happening in this scene. Let me flip the cam. All right, so this is the set right here. Turn the living room into a podcast set for the Open Hearts with Nita Rain podcast, which is my wife's podcast. This happens to be the very first recording day, very first episode, and I want to walk you through everything that I have going on here. All right, so we'll start with camera. I have a A7 III Sony that is on a C stand. And this C stand also has a ring light connected to it, and it's going the lens we're using right now is a 28 to 70 Tamron, and there is a second camera here, which is a Sony EOS M6, or a Canon. I'm sorry, it's a Canon EOS M6. I probably should switch this camera here to. Or maybe I'll throw in the third camera if I could. But I have to figure out how to get that one with an HDMI, clean HDMI out. The clean HDMI out is what allows you to not be able to see all of the different settings that's on the camera when you get into, I'm going to show you the screen when I get over there. And then for microphones, we have two here. I have the 7B Shure SM7B. There's two of them. There's a two guest setup today. We are going to talk about the main tech on the table here in a second. And there's another ring light right here. I have some RGB lights here just to hit the wall a little bit. I could throw it on the ceiling so it can bounce off of the white and hit the guests a little bit there. There's many ways we can play with this light. I have another one over there. A little bit of like decor in the back there, which I'm sure my wife she's gonna be moving that around. She's probably gonna be moving all this stuff around herself. And so this is what it looks like from this side. I'm gonna show you too much because this is our living room. I just flipped out. And now let's talk about the tech. The tech is the main part that gets a lot of people hung up on this whole thing here. Okay, let's talk about the tech. Let's talk tech. All righty? Let's talk the tech. All right, so all of this here, right? In order for your podcast to be recorded, be heard, and be seen, there's three things that comes into yeah, there's three things. There is the software, and the software of choice that I use is Riverside. Riverside. I do have a link down below for you to grab the Riverside software. The reason why I like Riverside, let's say now I'm going to set up my show. All right, so I already logged in. I'm going to come up here to the plus sign, and we're going to set up a new show. I'm going to name it over here, Open Hearts. Open Hearts with Nita Rain. With Nita Rain. And once the episode drop, y'all, make sure we share it with you. Be able to watch it. But you can just go to her YouTube channel. It's Nita Rain. And subscribe. I would appreciate that. All right, Open Hearts with Nita Rain. Now, over here is asking me to ask me later. Open Hearts with Nita Rain is set up. And so then I'm going to come up here to go to studio. All right, so when I go to studio, there are a few things that I see here. Over here is I can automatically see my camera is set up. It is the Blackmagic, which is this device right here. We'll talk about that in a second. And then my audio happens to be this device right here, the Rodecaster Pro. All right, so the way that's connected, I have a USB-C right here, cable going into this tower right here, and this tower is plugged into my computer. So all of this is happening on one cord, which is plugged into the computer. That's how the software is able to see and hear. All right. And so over here it tells you the name. I'm just put my initial for now because it doesn't show up. And then it asks you if you want to use, if you're using headphones. We're not using headphones. All right. So then everything is good. I can see myself. This is what it looks like. And I'm going to go into join the studio. Join studio. Get all this out the way. This is what the studio will look like, right? That's what the shot looks like right now. It does need a little bit of tweaking to get it right. But yeah, that's what the shot looks like. For the most cases, that's what people will see on the main camera. You can see audio is in. That means I can hear myself through these microphones. Mic check 1, 2. Audio is connected. And that's good. Next, I just got to hit record there. If I wanted to go live with this show, I can come up here on the gear button, go to live stream, and put in the stream key for the appropriate website that I'm using. If I'm going YouTube, I'll get my YouTube stream key, Facebook, and so on. But we're not. We're just going pre-record it. The other thing about this software that I love so much is pre-recording, and after it's done, it automatically can like pull out clips for reels and shorts, right? That's why I love Riverside. Automatically has an AI button. You just push that and it pulls out the live, like the best scenes, and make them out of clips so that you're able to share on your different platforms. So let's talk about how I have this Rodecaster now. The Rodecaster has two microphones, mic 1, mic 2, which should be these right here. Mic 1, mic 2. We're not using these. We can mute them actually. Those lines are not being used. Microphone, this one right here, we're not really using it, but I like to keep it up. We can put these down, right? And this is the main audio. And these pads right here have different sounds. I don't have any headphones plugged up right now, but you'll be able to see or hear, right? And so this is my multi view. This is how this machine work. I got 4 cameras opportunities here, but I'm only using 2, 1 and 2. 3 is not used and none of that, right? If I was going live, it would say live right here. And camera 1 is in the back, camera 2 is there. There's also a USB-C cable that's plugged into this deck. That's how the software was able to see the cameras, and it said Blackmagic, right? So when it's time to, the way this works, this is the program, and this is the preview, and this is the program. So let's say over here, I'm previewing camera 1, and I can cut to it, and it's going to come on the other side here. Once I cut to it, it's there. Or now I'm previewing camera 2, right? And I can cut to it. Whatever I cut to Once I cut to it, it moves over there. If it's here, that's what the people see. And if I cut again, so on. That's all that's happening here. Cut. You can do an auto, but they're terrible. You just do a hard cut and everything's good right there. So from right this seat, I'm able to be a guest and the producer of the show as well. And that's basically, there's a lot more we can get into as far as all of this. So we can hit the record here and capture the audio, but this program is also is capturing audio as well on the software. So we have individual tracks for her and myself. And then if we wanted to bring in a guest, we can also bring in a guest right into this software. It's super dope. You can see it says invite up here. We can invite somebody onto the show via virtual and all of that. So we're pretty set up. We're pretty set up. And this is what the shot would look like if I wanted to just show the program. It would be something like this. And multi-view would be something like that. All right, so we're pretty good now, ready to rock. It's time for me to just go and get myself together, get ready, wake her up, and we'll be ready for the recording today. All right, so this was a challenge for my wife to start a podcast. She's always having these dope conversations with her friends, right? Like always. So I was like, babe, you should start a podcast. Stop having free conversations. So it's been a push, but today she decided, okay, I'm gonna take Wednesdays off. We'll record on Wednesdays, and then we'll drop the shows. I believe for now we're dropping the episodes on Sundays. Sundays afternoon when everybody's at home from church, you catch an episode of the Open Heart Podcast. All right, so I appreciate you. If you like this video, go ahead and like it. If you got any questions about a setup, maybe you need your setup and you need some ideas, you need some help, you can definitely send me a message. I'm on IG at Garment Creations. You can email me. It's all attached to this YouTube channel. And yeah, I would love to help you get your show off the ground, point you to the right directions and everything. This was just the bare minimum of what we can do as far as setting up your show. But we're pretty ready for this one right here. We just got to get Nita Rain up and tell her, baby, it's time to go. Get up, get up, get up. It's time to open hearts. All right. I love y'all, man. And you got any questions again, let me know down below. Until next time, God bless you. And I see you later.